Alright everybody, hello and welcome as always. I am Sean. This is In The Mix, episode 89 of our FC Isle Advance series. I nearly said hashtag United then. I haven't done that in like 6 months. If you haven't gone and checked out the episodes from earlier this week, please go and do so because they're going to give you so much additional context to this season and the way that it's playing out and bring you up to date on the episodes and games that we're going to play today. Two huge fixtures that will kind of determine how we finish off our season, whether we push for playoff football or whether we drop down the table and start getting engulfed in that mid-table struggle. We are first up going to play Aston Villa, currently second in the league in one of the automatic promotion spots. They're only holding on to that spot by 1 point, so they're desperate for a win as well. And then we've got another massive fixture against a Portsmouth side that actually aren't miles away from us when you look at the different gaps between teams and points and all that sort of stuff as well. And kind of a unique scenario in this one because we don't have any games to recap. The last two games we played are the last two games that you would have seen in yesterday's episode, so there's no real other highlights to go through. It's kind of a weird one. Let's jump in and quickly have a look at the team and the tactic and what we're going to use going into these two massive fixtures. So as you guys can see here, everyone's now on 41 games played, and to be honest, we've been a little bit fortunate. Millwall behind us have dropped down to 62 spots, so we do still have a game in hand on the teams in 7th. Fulham thankfully didn't win both of their games. They won one. So they have leapfrogged us into 6th position on 68 points. Swansea are in 5th on 69 points. Both of them have far superior goal differences. We're only +7. When we win, we just win. When we lose by 3 or 4. I don't think we're going to catch either of their goal differences, so it's incredibly important that we beat them on points throughout the course of the season. There are 5 games remaining. Aston Villa is the biggest test of those games. As we get on, they get easier and easier. We do play Swansea, so we're going to have a great opportunity to try and get 3 points back to them. That's effectively like a playoff position 6-point match. If we get 3 points against Aston Villa and Swansea, I think we have enough about ourselves to beat Portsmouth, to beat Cardiff, and to beat Derby on the final day of the season. We will probably skip the game against Portsmouth. I'm kind of deciding on the fly here. Play this massive fixture against Aston Villa. Play this massive fixture on Swansea. I know that's not what I said in the intro. That wasn't the intention when we set out to start recording this episode, but I want to try and bring you guys as much football and as much key football as humanly possible. I think initially when I discussed it yesterday, I was saying, hey, let's play that Swansea game off screen. Nah, they're in 5th spot. It's going to be a huge fixture for us. Let's try and get that one in this episode. And as always, because I can't help myself, I've been tweaking a little bit tactically. We have had 3 weeks off, which has been fantastic for us. We desperately needed that break. It does bring Wademan and Rowley back onto the bench, but neither of them are quite ready to start just yet. Ramirez, thankfully, 7 days and 2 weeks till he's back, so we might actually see him for the game against Swansea. And then Fushbauer has also picked up a knock. That's not a big drama. It does mean Curse will continue on the left-hand side. I'm going with the shape and structure that I kind of want us to be playing rather than what's probably most comfortable for us right now. We were playing a particularly good brand of football in certain spells as the new year kind of came in. We had a good spell in February as well. We got away from that in March, and that's where our results really kind of hurt us a little bit. So I'm going with that. I'm going with our young, like kind of future lineup team, because the majority of these players will be here next season. Left wing is really the only spot where we are significantly weaker. I have tweaked some of the individual instructions for the first time in this series. Everyone's just been in their default settings for whatever else. But now I've made a couple of changes, mainly to this 3 just behind the striker here. Petrovic has now got take more risks, cross from byline and shoot less often, but on a support duty. I've done the same thing on the left-hand side. And for Benitez, I'm opening it up for him to roam from position and play in a free role. He's the player that has consistently improved throughout the course of this season. You can see he's up to 4.5-star current ability. Still got 5-star potential. There's Premier League sides sniffing around. We need to make use of him while we still have him in the squad. I brought Madrigal back in as Messiah. Hussein will play as a deep line playmaker on defend just to try and anchor that midfield a little bit more, have that singular base. The Messiah will move a little bit between the lines, trying to link the play. We tried it last episode, Trueblood back as a complete wing back. I'm going to go back to wing back on defend. I just think it gives us better stability. And we're going to go with a positive mentality. We know Aston Villa are quite good. We are playing at home. We do need to try and put defence first. And I brought Mohamed Dilapor back in as a ball-playing defender after giving Grassinger a go in the last match. I don't think we played particularly well. And because we've got these limitations about homegrown players in the squad and all that sort of stuff, it makes it tough to make like deep, meaningful substitutions during the course of a game because a lot of these guys aren't necessarily in our higher squad. But again, I mentioned it in yesterday's episode, like that'll be a focus for the off-season, bringing in homegrown players so that we aren't as sort of hamstrung in terms of our subs and starting lineups and all that sort of stuff. Nobody in the current starting lineup is homegrown within England, and that is a bit of an issue. We've got to go with 6 subs on the bench because we don't have any additional players that fall under the homegrown category, which is fine. No dramas with that. We don't need a goalkeeper on there anyway. But this is the lineup we're going with. Cooper's in goal, Escobar and Mohamed Dilapor as the central defensive partnership. I'm hoping they can go on a run of clean sheets. We haven't had one in forever. Hernandez at left wing back, Trueblood at right wing back, Husseina and Madrigal but holding midfield with Benitzi at the 10. Kirst and Petrovic as the wingers and Kamara up top. They're going with a flat 4-4-2. We're about 50-50 on 4-4-2s as far as playing against them and getting good results. They've got some good players though. Ricky Puig is now 30 years of age, comes through the Barcelona Academy, an advanced playmaker, decent little box-to-box midfielder as well by the looks of some of these traits that I can see here. He looks to be very decent. Played at Bayer Leverkusen. Didn't make many appearances before Aston Villa picked him up quite a few seasons ago. They got Yayi Mpai from Anderlecht, who is a very good young player that you can pick up at the start of your own save. Still only 28, so he must be about 15, 16 when the game actually starts. He's been at Sampdoria in Serie A and Reading and Aston Villa. He will have played Premier League football at some point in the last couple of seasons with Aston Villa, one of the relegated sides last year. They've got Claudio Gomez, who I was fortunate enough to have, I think 2 years ago in like a FC United of Manchester save, lower division. Absolutely phenomenal central defensive midfielder. Can play as a deep line playmaker in the central role as well, which is how I think they're using him. Just a wonderful, wonderful player. And they've got Harry Wilson playing on the right-hand side. He's 33 years of age now. Of course, comes through at Liverpool, but is on loan at Bournemouth at the start of everyone's saves. Just a very, very good, versatile attacking player. He can play on either wing. You can kind of train him to play at a 10. You can kind of train him to play up front as well. Just a fantastic option if you're looking for a wonderful young English attack. Oh, no, he's Welsh, isn't he? I nearly said English attacker. Welsh people would have been destroying me in the comments. Their leading scorer for the season, Leonardo Campagna, 29-year-old Ecuadorian international, a complete forward, which you don't see a tremendous amount at a championship level. He's been at Aston Villa for a good few seasons after coming from Barcelona in Ecuador. 130 goals in 306 appearances. They've definitely got some ability about them. You can see why they're up towards the top of the division, but we're going to say passionately, let's give the fans something to cheer today, and let's also tell everybody that we've got faith in them just to try and get everyone over the line. If we get 3 points in this episode, we are going to be in good shape. If we don't, it starts to become kind of like a ticking clock of when are we actually going to pick up points, when are we actually going to put a decent run together and go after getting one of these playoff positions. Looking around the grounds, Sheffield United are playing Derby. They should win that game. Derby are pretty poor. In fact, as I've said that, they've already taken a lead. Ipswich are playing... Where are Ipswich playing? They're 2-1 up against Millwall. Very early strikes for both sides in there. And Fulham and Swansea, whereabouts are they? Swansea are 1-0 down to Sheffield Wednesday, which is great for us. No, I think they've just equalised. They have indeed. I've got to stop talking because everything I say seemingly creates changes around the division. And we've gotten to half-time without any highlights for either side. Assertively, we're not doing it too badly. If everyone works hard, we can win this. And let's also tell everyone we think there's more to come from them. Is a point enough, or is a point against Aston Villa a good point? As things stand for them, Sheffield would leapfrog them. Oh, they've got a corner here. Wilson to take. Goes back stick. Mohamed Dillapour with a good ball away. Kirst's clearance is poor, though. Gives the ball straight back to Aston Villa. Kamara's won it back in a good spot in midfield. Madrigal goes over the top to Kamara, and he's gotten goal side. Can he get there first? The keeper comes out. Aguilera does very well. Not Christina, some different player. Campagna, back to Wilson. The highlights continuing here, and they're back in possession, which makes me a little bit worried. Wilson sends it out left again. Back to Wilkins, the fullback. We're just pressing a bit blindly in the middle there. Wingers running all over the shop. Hector Hello's gotten goal side, and they're full Helio. Hector Hello is I don't know who that is, a player I've made up in my imagination. 13th goal of the season for him, and it's just this little flick on header that does the damage. Goes to Rubio. It's a long ball over the top. And then I think it's Escobar loses out to Campagna, and he just turns Mohamed Dillapour like he's not even there and side foots that one home. Keeper could do nothing about it. That would see Aston Villa go back into the top spots. Fulham, where are they travelling? I don't think they're actually playing today. Oh no, they're drawing 1-1. Oh, they're 2-1 up now against Blackburn. So all the teams around us are picking up points. Hernandez out to Kirst. We got any late drama here? Madrigal. We're going to make subs after this highlight, I think. Now out right to Petrovic. Can he wrap his foot around it and get the ball in the box? Deep ball across towards Kirst. He gets the header on there, but Aguilera equal to it again. Saves and holds. Is that the end of the highlight? Or are we going to see some more here? Long ball forward. Covered by Mohamed Dillapour. Back to Madrigal again. Ball over the top for Kamara. He's gone goal side. Can he find the finish? He can indeed. What a wonderful strike that is for his 10th goal of the season. All right, what can we do here? Madrigal hasn't played well. The Wolf can come on. Let's take off Kirst as well and try and get Dave Rowley through some minutes. And what else can we try and change here? Mohamed Dillapour hasn't played particularly well. Let's bring on Tyrone Taylor. Let's go bring on some of the old guard here. We'll see if we can't try and leverage them to a good performance. Let's have the Wolf hold and Hosseini play alongside him. Rowley's better suited to a supporting role, so that one's fine. Let's have Tyrone Taylor play in his preferred role. Let's have Escobar play as a covering defender. And let's go with that. Assertively, I have faith in you. Get out there and make a difference. And we should also probably use our Get Creative shout in a minute once this highlight comes to an end. Use that now. Everyone seems inspired, which is great. Can we push on and try and find a winner here? We desperately need it. We'd fall 4 points behind Fulham in 6th spot. It'd be an uphill task to try and catch them from there. We've got a corner here. It's not very well worked, and we get the ball in the box, but it's Wilson with the clearance and Guerrero with a wonderful challenge to take him beyond the defender. He's got a long way to go, and it's a good save from Kubis. He pretty much carried the ball from inside his own half, then into the 18-yard box. Kubis with a good save forces the corner. Wilson wraps his foot around it now. Campagna back post. Thankfully, the header was always ballooning. Never looked like it was going to challenge the goalkeeper. Into the last 10 minutes now, let's use our demand more shout. It's very tense. We haven't got any more subs up our sleeve. We just kind of have to hope and pray that the team out there can hold on or push for a winner. 4 minutes to be added on here. We're through most of that time now, and the referee's called full time. It's a 1-1 draw. I guess we've done well to come back and get the equalising goal after going a goal down, but we needed 3 points desperately. 9 shots, 4 on target, 52% possession. They had 17, 8 and 48%. We're going to passionately say, I'm very happy with what I saw out there. Yeah, let's go with that. Let's try and keep morale up as much as we can. It does feel a bit more like a point gained rather than 2 points dropped, and that does drag Aston Villa back into the promotion or playoff picture. Sheffield United leapfrogging them into one of the automatic spots. Campagna gets the man of the match award, a 7.4 match rating. Kamara's on his way to 10 league goals for the season, which means he's likely to get a goal bonus. And that guarantees our best ever Sky Bet Championship finish with 4 matches still to play. Interesting to see where we might actually end up, given that we are so close. I know I said top half at the start of the year, but given that we are so close, I want to try and get into the playoffs. We will play the game against Portsmouth off screen. It is away from home. If we lose that one, we're pretty much screwed. But I think what's more important is bringing you guys the game against Swansea. So magic of editing, we're going to jump forward to that game now. All right, just like that, we're about a week and a half ahead. Things have changed a little bit, but not a tremendous amount. Aston Villa have jumped back up into the automatic promotion spots. They won their last game. We also won our last game, beating Portsmouth 1-0. If we have a look at that fixture, Dave Rowley did quite well, got a decent goal, scrappy goal from a corner. We traded a couple of chances, couldn't find our finishes. You can see Petrovic and Benitez struggled. Escobar struggled a little bit at the back. They didn't create a tremendous amount in terms of highlights that we saw. But still, it was scrappy when really I needed like a dominant 3-0 or something like that to give us a bit of momentum going into this game against Swansea. Swansea and Ipswich have to play each other. They both are the only sides on 42 games played. I don't know how I feel, if I want one of them to win and one of them to lose, if I want it to be a draw or what the scenario is. I think the best thing might be if Ipswich wins and then we beat Swansea today and leapfrog them that way. But we have to do our part first. So tactically, we're going to go attacking. I'm going to bring Rowley in on the left back. Curse has done a good job, but I think he's done all we can ask of him. Ramirez, unfortunately, still a little bit away. I'd rather not risk it. I'd rather he was ready for the games tomorrow and for the playoffs if we get to that position. Otherwise, it's pretty much the same lineup we've been going with. I'm going to go attacking. If we're going down swinging. And I think it sets us up nicely for the last 2 games of the season, playing teams towards the bottom of the division. If we can get settled into this attacking rhythm, like we can start smashing goals in behind them and maybe get the ultimate points that are on offer to try and get ourselves into that promotion spot or playoff spots. We are, of course, going with Kubis in goal, Escobar and Mohamed Dillapor as the defenders. Central defenders, Hernandez on the left wing back spot, Trueblood at the right. Hassani Alanka midfield, Madrigal comes back in as the Messiah next to him. Benitez at the 10, Rowley on the left wing, Petrovic on the right, and Kamara up top. They've got a decent looking lineup, some good little players in here. Betch Sorensen, they've picked up at some point from Brentford. A good Danish defender, a proper ball playing defender as well, very good technical ability. And even though he's 31 years of age now, still good physical attributes as well. He looks quite solid. Brentford actually have a really good lineup. Maybe if you're thinking about doing a championship save, have a look at their squad and let me know what you think. Ryan Giles at left wing back, they picked him up at some point from the Wolves Academy, 30 years of age now. Has been at Swansea for a good few seasons. He looks quite decent, actually. A good attacking fullback, good acceleration, good pace. Dylan Levitt is anchoring midfield for them. He's usually an advanced playmaker. I think they're using him as a deep lying one in this particular role. Very good passing ability, good first touch, good player to try and pick up at the end of your own save. Very rarely gets his contract renewed at Man United, so he is available on a free relatively early. Milanovic is their captain, 28-year-old Croatian new-gen, whatever you want to call him. Looks physically good, mentally okay, like in terms of his technical ability, nothing special. So I'm not sure why he's got such a big rating there. And then they've also got Ben Knight in the hole here. Comes through the Manchester City Academy, a very good young player if you can pick him up. Can play as a shadow striker, can play as an attacking midfielder, can be retrained as an advanced playmaker if you get the opportunity. Just a very good player. And at 27 years of age, 12 years into the save, He's doing quite well. Ferris is their leading scorer up top, their highest average rating. He looks very, very good. 20-year-old Northern Irish international on loan from Porto. A very interesting one. 16 dribbling, first touch, free kick taking. 17 balance, jumping reach, and off the ball. He looks to be a very tidy little player. And he's had quite the career, actually, at Porto, but been on loan to China and now in Wales with Swansea as well. Passionately, we're going to say we owe Swansea after what happened in our last match. And I'm also going to passionately say I have faith in Camera up top because he's fallen off a little bit. Came in red hot in January when we picked him up and was on a great little scoring tear and just hasn't scored that much in the last few weeks. And I'm too stubborn to rotate at the moment. I just want to try and get this side fit and firing again because they are the group that we are going to try and build towards next season as well. It's been tense so far. We haven't had a shot on target yet, but we have had more shots overall. Doesn't mean they're good shots. Just shots for shot's sake is never helpful. Can you use that get creative shout here? 10 minutes remaining in the half. We haven't seen a highlight for either side just yet. Though they've got a deep free kick here. It's flicked on by Robinson just past the far post for the goal kick. First shot in anger, first highlight for Swansea. And we get to half time with no highlights either way. Aggressive, far from pleased with what I just saw. Okay, everyone's responded positively to it, which is good. There's a few match ratings there that we kind of have to be concerned about. I just don't want this one to peter out. A draw favours Swansea much more than it favours us. Okay, corner here, Levitt to take towards back post. It's cleared away, but Rodriguez will reset for Swansea. Back to Sullivan. Petrovic nearly won the ball back, but it's fallen to Swansea again in midfield. Back to Camara. Now he's on halfway. Can he try and wrap his foot around this one? The defence has done quite well to keep up with him. Oh, and he's found the finish. What a goal that is. Oh, my goodness. I am absolutely sweating bullets at the moment. Abubakar Kamara, his 11th goal of the season. That will see him get a goal bonus for 10 goals in the league this year. I think he got 9 in about 5 or 6 games. And then since then, he's really struggled. And just what a run that is. Recovers possession on halfway. Goes on a run. Cuts back inside the defender. Gets it on his favoured left foot. Finds the bottom corner for a 1-goal advantage. Now we've kind of got a lead to defend. Do I risk it? Do I stay on attacking where we're kind of dealing with them? Or do I go back to positive? Let's go back to positive. It's not a time to doubt ourselves. Let's just lean into everything. Rowley hasn't played particularly well. I don't have another left winger option on the bench though. Benitez hasn't had a good game. We'll bring on Wademan. We'll bring on the Wolf for Madrigal, who seems to have struggled a little bit. And Escobar also hasn't had a good game. He's struggling for form a little bit in the later parts of this season as well. Let's adjust these player roles. No nonsense centre back. Let's move Mohamed Dillapor to be a defender because we don't need 2 stoppers. The Wolf on defend and maybe Hosseini as a deep line playmaker on support. And Wademan as an attacking advanced playmaker. And Rowley, that's the best that we can hope for from Rowley. Let's just try and get through 30 minutes here, boys. We've got a lead to defend. Let's do it to the best of our ability. The keeper came out there for a split second. I thought maybe we were going to get something, but the highlight came to an end. This would see us jump up into 6th spot, but Swansea do still have a game in hand. Ipswich have 2 games in hand, even though we draw level with them on points. Hosseini with a deep free kick towards back post. Mohamed Dillapor's hit the crossbar, and they've managed... Oh no, I think he was eventually pulled back for offside. We're into the last 10. Let's use our demand more shout here. What can we try and find? Yeah, a couple of players seem focused. They've had some good feedback from the touchline. They all seem fired up. 4 minutes to be added on, and the ball's with Ashby Hammond in the Swansea goal. Played forward from the goal kick. Don't press too far, boys. Hosseini wins it back for us. Wademan now back to the Wolf. Just sends a ball over the top to no one in particular. We've got to value possession a bit more than that, lads. 4 minutes remaining for us to try and hang on here. Long ball forward towards Levitt. They're definitely Mohamed Dillapor's let it go, and it's fallen into the 6-yard box. Ferris has found an equaliser. Oh my God, we're not going to make the playoffs, are we? How has that happened? Let's check this out in 3 dimensions. Did our keeper hit the deck? There's no reason that a player should be able to run around the goalkeeper in the 6-yard box. Mohamed Dillapor's terrible out of the air. And it's a tackle, and then the keeper's dove at nothing, and Ferris, we spoke about him in the build-up as being the danger man for them, and he's found an equaliser late on, which drops us back out of the promotion spots. Oh no, it's 2-1 all draws. That's very disappointing. It sets us up for a tense finish to the season tomorrow. 11 shots, 2 on target, 39% possession, 13, 4 and 61. When you look at it from a stats perspective, they were probably the better side, but from a highlights perspective, it could have gone either way. Assertively, far from pleased. Let's go with that. And everyone seems fired up, which is good because we need to try and pick everybody up to go again for the next 2 games. Oh, goodness me. Okay, so Swansea, let's have a look at their schedule. What fixtures have they got remaining? They're going to play Rochdale, Ipswich and Preston. So Rochdale and Preston probably aren't going to pick up points against them, but Ipswich might. Ipswich might be our saving grace here. And looking at the Ipswich schedule, they've still got 4 games remaining. So they've got Blackburn, top of the division. They're probably not going to win that. Barnsley, who are in 10th. Swansea, who are in 6th. And Aston Villa, who are in 3rd. So potentially, the wheels might come off at Ipswich and they'll drop out entirely because they've got some big sides that they're going to be playing against there. Aston Villa have it all to play for, still looking for an automatic promotion spot. Sheffield United guaranteed to playoffs. I don't think we can catch Fulham because they're 3 points ahead and plus whatever goal difference, but let's have a look anyway. They've only got 2 games remaining. Birmingham in 13th and Sheffield in 2nd. So really, we probably do have in our remaining 2 games, Cardiff in 18th and Derby in 24th spot, the best run home of any of those sides looking to try and secure those final playoff positions. But we're going to be doing it. We're going to be fighting from underneath. Do I look confident? Am I exuding confidence at the moment about how tomorrow's going to go? We'll see. We'll see how it plays out from there. But I'm going to take a break. I'm going to get away from it. We're going to come back with fresh eyes tomorrow. We're going to reload the save, which means anything can happen. And hopefully we're going to get 6 points to try and secure playoff football in the second season in the championship. We'll give Kamara a little bit of praise here just to finish off. As always, guys, this game's a goddamn roller coaster. It's got so many twists and turns. There was a point this season when we were 3rd in the division. Like, it feels like I'm forever ago now, but there was a point when we were 3rd in the division before we dropped off and the wheels came off entirely. But it is a young group. I did say at the start of the season when we made that commitment that we weren't going to sign loan players. We were going to go through. We were going to try and develop our own talent. That it was going to be a bit tougher because of that. And my God, is it making it difficult for me at the moment. If you want to continue to support the channel, support the series, drop a like on this video. Help us try and get through to episode 90 tomorrow. Help us try and push towards that playoff fixture. You can also subscribe to this channel if you want to be kept up to date on all our future videos. But more than anything, I appreciate you watching and being involved. Thank you so much for watching. I've been Sean and I'll see you all again in the mixer.